Just like there's a long list of liberal celebrities who swear they'll go if a Republican is elected, and no one ever does. Miley Cyrus once said, "I am moving if Trump is my president. I don't say things I don't mean." Here she is looking miserable, having to endure America at the Grammys last Sunday. I guess she flew back from Tajikistan.
Bill Maher's criticism of woke celebs is entertaining. The comedian and talk show presenter is known for pointing out the inconsistencies in Hollywood, and this time he is going after celebrities who openly support particular causes while ignoring the consequences. It's satisfying to watch him use his signature humor to poke fun at the conceit of celebrity.
In 2016, Eddie Griffin said, "If Trump wins, I'm moving to Africa." Apparently very slowly, because in Trump's 4 years, he only got as far as Van Nuys. George Lopez once said that if Trump won, he won't have to worry about immigration. We'll all go back. George Lopez still here.
Fans are excitedly awaiting Maher's unvarnished, unrestrained remarks, since his most recent roast makes it apparent that he hasn't targeted Hollywood head-on in a while. He focuses on people who openly support movements for political or moral grounds while ignoring the actual repercussions of their statements. The outcome is classic Maher: incisive, cheeky, and unflinching. Funny, audacious, and provocative all at once.
Russia just referring to the war in Ukraine as a war can get you 15 years in the fabulous prisons made famous by some of the world's most famous novels. You think America's evil because we didn't nominate Margot Robbie for an Oscar? Just wait till you get thrown out the window of your very own dream house.
Maher criticizes political message that is ambiguous or contradictory amid the laughing. He ridicules advertisements that state, for instance, "Vote for me because I hate it here," underscoring the ridiculousness of endorsing oneself by disparaging the very system one aspires to govern. The audience is left both amused and a little uneasy by the observation's flawless blending of witty humor with astute insight.
Confused by this political message. Vote for me because I hate it here. Now, does America have big problems? Yes, I've often cited the America Sucks list. Things like being 54th in the world in infant mortality behind Cuba, 19th in literacy behind Russia, 72nd in female representation in government behind Iraq. A lot of work to do here. And is it possible for a country to lose itself so much that leaving it is justified? Yes, but we're not there yet, not by a long shot, and we don't need quitters. We need people who will stay and...
Bill Maher offered a scathing indictment of America's progressive politicians and cultural leaders in his introductory remarks. He maintained that if they are unwilling or unable to face those difficulties themselves, they should not provide advice on how to handle national crises. Maher emphasized how simple it is to demand radical change while lounging in opulent houses. But he reminded everyone that words are powerless on their own. Without dedication, sacrifice, and hard work, a voice is just another voice in the shuffle. Maher continued to hail America as a great country, resilient but far from perfect. However, he underlined that effective change takes more than ostentatious lobbying, accusation, or incessant whining. The nation need active participation. Those who are willing to take charge, face obstacles head-on, and assume accountability rather than depending on others to do the labor-intensive work are the ones who exhibit true leadership.
Maybe the problem isn't that America isn't worth defending. Maybe the problem is that lots of people today are entitled whiners who have no perspective and no idea how good they have it. 59% of self-identified liberals say there have been times when they considered leaving America for good, like after NBC canceled The West Wing.
This scenario is realistic, despite its dramatic flair. Many Americans have stated over the years that they would leave the nation at the first hint of crisis. One of the biggest waves occurred following Donald Trump's election, when both ordinary people and celebrities boldly announced their intention to relocate to Canada with much fanfare. Very few, of course, ever got through. The narrative doesn't end there. Every time the nation rejects some modern principles, frequently ones that go against basic sense, some people still threaten to leave. Rather than actively supporting their country, they dream about fleeing. Maher makes a very simple point. Threats and ostentatious displays are not indicative of true patriotism. It's about sticking together, taking on obstacles head-on and striving to strengthen America.
Hey, you want so badly for every immigrant to come to this country and experience the good life, but somehow it's so terrible you want to leave? And I see conservatives in Texas are talking secession again. They have 2 bumper stickers in that state. America, love it or leave it, and we're leaving it.
That's right. Politicians and celebrities can easily deceive their supporters by sending contradictory messages. They promote immigration by portraying America as a place of opportunity. On the other hand, they swiftly call the nation a disgrace and threaten to depart if their wishes are not met. Let's think about the paradox. Why encourage people to America if it is so awful? And why threaten boycotts each election cycle if it truly stands for freedom and opportunity? This contradiction demonstrates a lack of bravery and conviction. The inconsistency is obvious. Such contradictory claims expose the flimsiness and self-interest that lie beneath their purported ideals, as Maher correctly noted.
A list of liberal celebrities who swear they'll go if a Republican is elected, and no one ever does. Miley Cyrus once said, "I am moving if Trump is my president. I don't say things I don't mean." Here she is looking miserable, having to endure America at the Grammys last Sunday.
The irony is obvious. The majority of these celebrities stay in America and enjoy the luxuries and liberties they say they hate, despite their dramatic declarations. They realize deep down that America offers more possibilities, platforms, and luxury than any other nation. In the event that Trump wins, why make such lofty claims about running? The explanation is clear. There was never true conviction. It all comes down to outrage culture, virtue signaling, and appearances. These grandiose actions encourage their audience, but the superstars themselves remain in place, enjoying the fame and fortune that only America can provide. Maher breaks through the facade and reveals the truth. This is a performance rather than an act of bravery, and appearance is everything to them.
Back from Tajikistan. In 2016, Eddie Griffin said, "If Trump wins, I'm moving to Africa." Apparently very slowly, because in Trump's 4 years, he only got as far as Van Nuys. George Lopez once said that if Trump won, he won't have to worry about immigration. We'll all go back. George Lopez still here. And it doesn't look like the migrant traffic is going back.
For the same reason, we find it difficult to believe well-known people when they give us political or moral advice. Our lives and theirs are completely different. Protected by affluence, they live in gated neighborhoods, take private jets, and know that if things became tough, they could construct a new house anywhere. In the meantime, regular Americans struggle to put food on the table, manage sleep-depriving mortgages, and pay rent that depletes their finances. For the majority of us, that is the harsh reality. Politics is about surviving, not about boasting. Naturally, people are more interested in leaders who address issues that directly affect their lives than in celebrities whose definition of hardship is a lavish vacation at a resort. They simply don't connect with their teachings.
The TikToks telling Americans things like,
I think the new American dream is to leave.
I'm 18 years old and I escaped America.
Yeah, you don't have to escape America. That wall we're always debating isn't to keep you in.
This is where things start to get really crazy. According to certain self-described social justice activists, Americans are stuck in a bind with no way out, and America is no better than North Korea. The irony is nearly too much to handle. In actuality, relatively few people in North Korea are free to follow their goals, create families, or earn a career. Instead, most people risk everything to get out of a repressive government. The United States, which these campaigners attack, continues to be the most popular tourism destination worldwide. Why? Because America provides more freedom, safety, and opportunity than any other country, in spite of its imperfections. Maher raises an interesting point. Why are people from all over the world coming to America instead of escaping if it were really so bad?
The Republic just ran a story about the vulnerable minorities who want to flee America, including the author, a gay man trapped in the dystopian homophobic hellscape that is New York City. I wonder if he knows that there are 66 countries where just being gay is a crime. Cute story in the news last month. Burundi's president called on his citizens to stone gay people, and not in the good way. Wow, suddenly the don't say gay law doesn't sound all that bad.
Regarding the LGBTQ+ community, it is undeniable that America is their haven. Seldom does a nation provide a more hospitable, secure, or encouraging atmosphere. They have access to freedoms of expression, media and political representation, and legal protections that are unthinkable in many other countries. They have rights that protect their life, communities to connect with, and places to openly express themselves. So why the so much discussion about leaving? Where else could they be able to enjoy more freedom? Even Europe, which is frequently regarded as having more progressive legislation, has laws that do not completely safeguard against exclusion, violence, and prejudice. America continues to be one of the safest and most welcoming countries for LGBTQ+ people, despite its flaws. Maher makes the obvious observation that everything they require is already present.
And Uganda? Oh, they don't just give you a ticket for parking in the rear. You can get the penalty for it. In China, they have the penalty for almost 50 crimes. And in 13 countries, atheism is punishable by death, and 61 imposed restrictions on women's clothing, so bring a scarf. According to Amnesty International, paramilitary groups killed the government's critics in Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, and arbitrary detentions are widespread in Cuba, Ecuador, El Salvador, Nicaragua. If you're wondering how that's just like no cash bail, it's not.
Because of this, about half of the world's population aspires to immigrate to the U.S. The liberties our nation offers, the freedom to express oneself without fear of punishment from the government, the freedom to follow any career path, and the possibility to become financially independent through hard work, draw people from all over the world. This is what the American promise is all about. For that reason alone, millions risk everything to get here. Surprisingly, though, a lot of present residents don't value it. They are eager to voice their displeasure and criticism of the country that provides more than others. It's like a pampered child throwing away all of their toys because they didn't get a new one for Christmas, utterly unaware of the richness and advantages they already have on a daily basis.
If, for your exile, you do wind up in some comparatively luxurious place like Canada or Japan or the UK, not that they want you. At best, you'll be trading a bunch of stuff you hate about this country for a bunch of stuff you'll soon hate about your new home. It took me only 4 days in Amsterdam to learn that while I admire Amsterdam, I don't want to live there. The buildings are cramped and shaped like needles.
Bill Maher's scathing criticism of the woke movement demonstrates how fake and superficial a large portion of today's activism is. Although they may make headlines, protests that use tactics like burning flags, damaging property, or obstructing traffic hardly ever address the root causes. The ridiculousness of criticizing America of oppression while utilizing its wealth and liberties is further shown by politicians and celebrities preaching from their elevated platforms. While these demonstrators are disrupting the roadways, regular Americans are busy just making ends meet, putting food on the table, and paying their mortgages. Maher reminded the audience that genuine change needs intellectual dedication and tangible work, not just social media influence or platitudes. People still travel from all over the world to America, not to avoid it, in spite of its flaws. The hypocrisy of those who assert differently is revealed by that alone. That concludes the video for today. Please click the like button and subscribe if you liked this article so you don't miss any more. I appreciate you viewing, and I'll see you in the following section.